So it's the second day, the afternoon. Thanks so much for joining the workshop here today. With me, Julien. He's the director of our platform partnerships here in NOAH, and I look after our business in Northern Europe. How many of you have seen the presentation yesterday? So quite a few. Good. So I will actually just give a quick introduction in terms of where's Facebook heading on the advertising side, but I'll keep it very short, as a lot of you have already heard this yesterday. And then Julien give you an idea about how we look at our platform and what's our strategy there. So most importantly, thank you. Perfect. So most of you know, otherwise you probably wouldn't be here. We have a lot of people on our platform. You might not care, whether it's a billion or it's less. I think most importantly, you care as a business. How do you grow your business? I think I joined about a year and a half ago at Facebook. We weren't always very clear what Facebook really is about. I was even confused when I started with all those abbreviations, with all those, Facebook language, and it was all about getting fans and being social and getting viral distribution and so. In effect, what it is, we have a massive platform with a lot of people on there every day. I think in the UK alone, 20 million daily active users, just on mobile. So a lot of people every day on that platform. So it's amazing reach with huge targeting opportunity, as we really know the people that are on the platform. So it really comes down to that we have the people on that platform that matter to you. Might be that you just want to target the people here in the UK on mobile, you can do this, or I'm from Germany, you want to go to Germany and reach a million people in Berlin today. So you can do that. So it's a big platform. The question is how you do it. It's not about begging for likes, putting up funny pictures of puppies, of cats, and trying to get as many likes or say, well, it's great, the sun is shining today, please like me, I want to be your friend. No, that's not what it's about. So it comes down to actually how you also, we've just heard Google, it comes down to how you optimize your campaigns and use that platform and the reach to really achieve the results that you want to. What we have on the platform is, of course, a variety of mechanisms that help you target those guys in terms of social demographics. We know their interests. We know it's actually the real people on the platform because they tell us their name, they tell us their real age, they tell us what they like, and we actually see it. So not just very broad, you can go very narrow. Most importantly, what you can do today is, as everyone moves to mobile, you can reach them every day, everywhere. And this is, you see the presentation yesterday, actually, for me, the most important thing. And we were really surprised how quickly that shift went actually to mobile. Last summer, actually, a lot of people started signing up through mobile and just keep on using us on a daily basis on mobile. Fortunately, what we've seen is the engagement has actually gone up. So from, on average, I think 8 hours a month on desktop to 15 hours a month on mobile. So we have a lot of more engagement on mobile. And most importantly is that as you have all of these people on mobile, there's an amazing opportunity because a lot of companies out there haven't really understood that we're actually on a big change this year. I used to run a business called Jamba Jamster in the old days, and that was 10 years ago, and we talked, this is the year of mobile, and people used Crazy Frogs and other ringtones because they thought this was mobile. This year it's actually happening. eMarketer has done a study this year and found out that the time people actually spend on digital this year is for the first time in history bigger than the time they spend on TV. The last time this has happened was in the 1940s, 50s, the shift when actually TV started overtaking radio. And since then, a lot of industries have moved that way, built around TV, building big brand advertisement reach, trying to somehow target the people there. A lot of them have not understood that it's completely changing now again. It's exactly this year. That actually the people are spending now more time on a new medium. It's digital. Of course, you've understood it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And mobile is really catching up. It's at the moment, it's half. So where eMarketer says, and that's US numbers, it's like 5 hours and I think 13 minutes or so on digital on average every day. Mobile is at 2 hours 20. But it's growing much faster. So we need to make sure that we catch up. And we've done also a lot of mistakes along the way. And Julian, you've been here also for a long time. So we also first said, it's going to be all HTML5. Then we've seen it's really clumsy. It's, long load times and so on. We've kind of shifted really into making sure we build native apps. And Julian's going to talk about, how you actually use that big platform now to target those apps. Because we believe with all of these people, and a lot of them actually spending the time with us on mobile, as we're very lucky and fortunate to be a benefactor of this trend. I think in the US it's now 1 out of 5 minutes on Facebook and 1 out of 4 if we combine it with Instagram. So we actually have a lot of attention from those guys that spend the time on mobile. And we have the amazing reach, a lot more than a lot of TV channels combined, a lot more than many other properties combined like print. We don't even want to talk about print anymore. The most interesting thing for me, and that's why I wanted to just focus on this topic before I hand over to Julian though, is the targeting piece. And probably the most kept secret, not anymore, not today, is our custom audience targeting. Because what it does is, you can use your existing data from all your Google campaigns, all the customers that you acquired before, and you can match them on a third-party server hashed with our data to see who of those customers is actually also live and active on Facebook. So imagine you have, 10,000 email addresses. And then you do custom audience with us, and you match those 10,000 email addresses and see, well, out of your 10,000 customers, probably 9,000 are on Facebook. And the nice thing is then, you can slice it and dice it. So you can, for example, say, I only want to talk to my customers, and I want to talk to them today. I don't have to wait until they come back to my website. I don't have to send them an email because it probably ends up in spam and it's not being read. You can target them directly today on the newsfeed. This is where people spend their time. It's on our newsfeed. People check it, I think on average, 10 to 15 times a day. And what they do, they browse through that. And you can be part of this property where the people actually spend the most of their time and the most engaging one. It's key, and what I said yesterday is actually to have a good, engaging content strategy to be part of this, because here you're not competing with your competitor. Here you're competing with the content of my best friend. So you better make it damn interesting for me actually to look at it. So it's also not part giving this to your social media manager that puts some funny puppy pictures on there and to get a lot of likes. It's actually like you would optimize a Google campaign. It's rotating landing pages. Make sure they're good, they're engaging, they're converting well. And with custom audience, what you can do now is, your 9,000 customers, you could say you only want to target them to make sure that they actually come back and buy from you. Or you could say, I'm already talking to them. These are my customers. I want to talk to my non-customers and only target those, and thus not spend your time and money and energy on targeting the guys that you already know. Or you can slice and dice that data into the customer segments that are most important to you. So you could take, let's say out of those 9,000 customers, 1,000 customers are your A customers, your VIPs, those guys that spend the most money with you, that come back the most often, that have the highest customer lifetime value. And you can only speak to them. The nice thing is, with lookalike audiences, you can now take those 1,000 VIP customers, with a click of a button, see which other customers on our platform, out of those 20 million only on mobile actives, for example, in the UK today, have similar attributes to those guys. And maybe over this 1,000 customers, you suddenly have 100,000 you can target, or maybe 1 million if you go international. So that's an amazing, powerful tool to actually target the people that matter most to you. And you target them where they actually spend the most time, the most engaging, anywhere, I think, in the digital space today. So that's the most and highly kept secret until today. With that, I'll hand over to Julian, who will walk you through our way of thinking, where our platform is heading, and give you some good insights how to scale a business from that side.
Thank you, Martin. Can you hear me? Good. So my name is Julien Codorniou. I work at Facebook Europe, and I manage the platform team in Europe. And in the platform team, we get to work with companies and developers building apps on the Facebook platform. It can be on Facebook.com, like games. It can be out of Facebook, connected with Facebook, like Spotify. And it can be on mobile, connected with Facebook, like Waze or like Candy Crush. And we are very lucky because what defines success for us is that we do well when our partners do well. That's what defines most of the platform companies. But we are very lucky because right now in Europe, the Facebook ecosystem is really, really hot. If you look at the fastest growing companies, companies raising money, companies hiring, companies investing, companies going public, like Criteo went public 2 weeks ago, like Supercell, who got acquired for $3 billion, half of $3 billion, for 51% of the company a month ago. If you look at King.com, people say they're going to go public for $5 billion. If you look at Waze, acquired by Google for $1 billion. All of these companies, and more generally, all of the companies moving fast, raising money, and doing well are somehow connected with Facebook. They are partners or customers, and sometimes they are even partners and customers. So since that ecosystem does very well, we are lucky to be doing also very well at Facebook, and that's really what defines us, especially in the platform team. I also wanted to grab the opportunity to tell you how much the platform value proposition has changed, and this is a very good opportunity for me to go through these slides today, because the Facebook of today is very different from the Facebook of 6 months ago and the Facebook of a year ago. Just if you look at revenues, sources of revenues, in yellow you see the mobile advertising revenues at Facebook. So 15 months ago, Facebook was not a mobile company. 0% of our revenues were coming from mobile, 0%. When we went public, people said, hey, is mobile good or bad for Facebook? Is Facebook a mobile company? Does Facebook get mobile? And 2 weeks ago, we announced the Q3 results, and actually mobile is now 49% of our advertising revenues. So we really shifted to mobile. We became a mobile-first company. Most of the companies who call us every day to buy ads for the first time are mobile-only developers, mobile-only companies. So we've made that shift, and we see that the entire ecosystem is making that shift. And we believe that the value proposition of the Facebook platform has never been stronger than today, because everybody wants to be big on mobile. Everybody wants to be a top free app, a top paid app, or a top grossing app, and we believe that we can help with that. So I wanted to start by giving you some interesting success stories that we've seen on the Facebook platform in Europe in the last 6 months. So who knows that application? Who plays that game? You're not a very game-friendly audience, but a lot of people play that game. So this game is Candy Crush. It's actually the biggest game in the world, and that game has been developed by a local company called King.com, and King.com has been in business for 10 years. And 3 years ago, the company was doing okay, and they tried to sell the company for $50 million, and nobody wanted to buy the company. I know a lot of gaming companies in the US, in Israel, who passed on that opportunity to buy King.com for $50 million. And the CEO, who's a brilliant guy, Riccardo Zacconi, decided to do like Zynga and put games on Facebook. And so he took 1, 2, 3 of his games that he put on King.com, and he put these games on Facebook. And something amazing happened. He became the #1 gaming company in the world, much bigger than Zynga, in less than 2 years, with games like Candy Crush, Bubble Witch Saga, Pet Rescue. And then he decided to go on mobile, like everybody, and he launched on iOS, and he launched on Android. And he became not only the top grossing app on Facebook, but also the top grossing app on iOS and on Android. And when you do some kind of a grand slam like that, you make a lot of money, a lot of money. Top grossing app on the 3 platforms, Facebook, iOS, Android. And he became big on mobile because he was big on Facebook first. And now that company that nobody wanted to buy for $50 million 3 years ago is about to go public, I've heard, for $5 billion. So that's a nice story. And I love this story because it shows that when you have the right content, the right IP, and the right marketing strategy, and King.com is one of our top 10 customers in the world, amazing, and when you put that on Facebook, amazing things can happen. Another company that I really like is Deezer. Who knows Deezer? It's like Spotify, but for French people. We love Deezer in France. And the company, same thing, started working with Facebook 2 years ago when we launched the Open Graph. And next thing you know, in less than 2 years, the company has been through a 10x growth. And every day, they get 50K installs for free, just with the platform integration they have. Because if Martin shares something from Deezer to Facebook, I will see that and I will click on it, I will become a Deezer customer, and eventually I will buy a subscription 2 weeks after that. So that's just with the free traffic. On top of that, Deezer is also a top mobile advertising customer, which means that as of today, every time they buy one install, one user, they also get one for free. It's a very good deal, especially in the mobile marketing space. So these are, and I think they raised $100 million a year ago, a very interesting case for us. 10x growth because they bet the farm, if I can say that, on the Facebook platform. BlaBlaCar, another very interesting company funded by Axel, one of the fastest growing companies, especially in France, in the UK, and in Germany. That company would never spend anything on Facebook 6 months ago, never touched anything except maybe the pages. Is now spending 60% of their marketing budget just on Facebook, and almost 100% of that goes to mobile, because they want to be big on mobile, just like the rest of the industry. So that shows a lot of things. We see a lot of companies like that who did not really like the ads on the right side that Martin talked about. But when we launched the Newsfeed ads on the web and the mobile app ads on mobile, they jumped on it. And this is where the growth is coming from. This is a very profitable investment. And we see more and more companies like that who are not really interested in the Facebook of a year ago, but who are jumping on the new ads product that we have on the Newsfeed, web, and mobile. Another example that I really like is Facetune. It's an application at a company based in Israel. They created the company a year ago, and basically it's like Photoshop on iOS. You want to put your best profile picture on Facebook and Instagram, you need to retouch it a little, you install the application, you pay for it, it's a paid app, and you can do it on the fly and put it on Facebook or on Instagram. And so that company created 12 months ago, they launched the application 6 months ago, 100% of their marketing budget goes to Facebook. They don't spend anywhere else. And guess what? In less than a week, they became the top paid app in 40 countries. And that's without any VC money, because it's a very profitable investment. It's a paid app. One user means one install, means one customer, means money for the company. So that's a good example. Out of nowhere, that company is the company everybody talks about right now in Israel. And they would not be there today without the investment and without the commitment that they have for Facebook. So mobile is clearly eating the world. If we look at all the numbers, if all the companies I talked about are mobile, sometimes mobile only or mobile first companies, if we look at the numbers of smartphones and tablets versus numbers of PC sold, I mean, it's a no-brainer. The world is shifting to mobile, mobile is eating the world. And apps are also eating the world. 80% of the time spent on mobile is spent on apps. And if you look at the time spent on apps, 24% of the time spent on mobile apps is spent on Facebook. That's the best number. That's actually my best slide. 24% of the time spent on mobile is spent on Facebook. The average Facebook user goes back to Facebook 14 times a day. This is what Martin mentioned earlier. 14 times a day. And they look at the newsfeed. If you look at the competition, Facebook plus Instagram means 27% of the time spent on mobile. Facebook alone on mobile means more time spent than Twitter, Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Microsoft, Pandora combined. So Facebook on mobile is a place where a lot of people spend time on. And people don't realize that, but Instagram on mobile is already bigger than Twitter. There are more people using Instagram on mobile every day than people using Twitter on mobile. And some of the companies we talk to, they still don't have an Instagram account, especially the big brands. So knowing that everybody wants to be big on mobile, everybody has a mobile app, and knowing that there are more than 2 million apps out there, and it's a level playing field. Everybody starts at the same level, except if you have friends at Apple or Google and get promoted. Knowing that you have this problem of discoverability and visibility. The only question is, how do I get there? How do I get onto the Facebook newsfeed, which is a place where a lot of people spend a lot of time? And the answer is for us is leverage the Facebook platform. And so that's the new narrative, that's the new pitch for the Facebook platform. It's based on 3 pillars: build, grow, and promote. And that pitch was impossible 6 months ago. 6 months ago, we only had that, grow. We didn't have that one, build, and we didn't have that one, promote. So I'm going to go pillar per pillar to tell you what has changed and what companies and brands can leverage to become big on mobile, just like we did. And a lot of apps are doing that. Once again, if you look at all the top companies, the fastest growing companies in the US, in Europe, all of them are somehow connected with Facebook, betting on Facebook, buying ads on Facebook, and leveraging the power of the Facebook platform. Supercell is one obvious example. These guys created $3 billion of value in 18 months, and it was maybe the first company in the world to try these mobile app ads formats. And what these guys have done, a company of 100 people in Helsinki, is amazing. And we've been lucky enough to be there even before they launched their mobile games. We've seen that since day one. So the build pillar. The build pillar is very easy. It's that solution called Parse. This is a company we acquired 6 months ago in the US. What it does is that it provides backend as a service for mobile developers. So when you're developing a mobile app, you need a backend, obviously, and you might need 1, 2, 3 backends if you have 1, 2, 3 apps on many different platforms. So Parse helps you, removes all the friction and all the pain that you have to go through when you develop mobile apps. That's the first thing every mobile developer should do, use Parse. You can use Parse for the backend, for the push, for the analytics, for a lot of services, cross-platform. It makes it easy for mobile developers to develop beautiful social apps. They don't have to worry about the backend stuff, which is not the most interesting thing when you develop mobile app. You really want to concentrate and focus on the client, not on the server side. So Parse helps a lot of developers with that. When we bought the company, they had 10,000 active apps. They now have 120K running apps on Parse. So that's a very, very hot product and a very, very important part of the platform. Part of the build pillar is also Facebook login and all the tools and technologies you can use to create a very social experience. Login with Facebook, obviously on mobile, a lot of people do that. Social context, how do you create a newsfeed in a mobile app, a la Spotify, a la Deezer? That's part of the build pillar. I'm not going to talk about gaming. I'm not sure we have a lot of gaming companies here, but on the gaming side, we never had that many players and we never had that many payers. The best time to start a Facebook gaming company is actually today. Look at King.com, look at what's happening in Turkey with Peak, look at what's happening in Israel with Playarium, Playtika. Our gaming business globally has grown by 12% year over year, but in Europe, it's way more than that. It's more than 50%, thanks to companies like King.com or Wooga in Germany. And the Canvas technology of Facebook is part of that first pillar build. The second pillar is the grow pillar, and that's all the tools you can use to grow organically thanks to Facebook. So that's sharing. I'm listening to something on Deezer, on Spotify. I want to share that with Martin. I'm going to push a button. A lot of media companies do that. It's going to be published on Facebook, and it will bring back to your app the friends of the people who use your app. It's also the App Center and what we call Facebook Invites or Facebook Request, which is something the gaming companies really love. Stuck at level 5 at Candy Crush, if you get 5 likes from your friends, you get to level 6. So a lot of companies use that to grow organically on the platform. Once again, by using that, Deezer gets 50K free new installs per day. That's a lot. And the last pillar, which is the most important one right now, and you know, once again, we didn't have that 1 year ago, it's the promote pillar. So you've certainly seen ads like that in the last 6 months on your mobile newsfeed. We call them mobile app ads. And when we launched these ads, the gaming companies jumped on it. The first ads you could see were coming from Wooga, King, Supercell. Then the gambling companies jumped on it. And now we've started to see 3-4 months ago e-commerce companies in the financial industry services, and you know, many new industries jumping on these ads to get mobile distribution. It fixes 2 key challenges. The first one is customer discovery and acquisition. How do you get people to discover your app if they don't know your app, if they don't know the name of your app, if they don't search for your app in the App Store? Oh, that's somebody playing Candy Crush. Sorry, which level are you at? Can't stop it. 50% of the top 100 grossing app on iOS and Android use these apps. And the second problem it fixes is retention, engagement, re-engagement, and monetization. And I will show you, we've just launched a new format for that. But being installed is not enough. Actually, most of the applications that are installed are not being used after that. So you need to think about installation, discovery, but also you need to think about how to re-engage people who install your application. How do you get them to go back to the application, driving engagement, re-engagement, and monetization. So that's the demo of how it works. I'm sure you've seen that in your newsfeed. You see that application in your newsfeed, and you can do very narrow defined marketing. You can say, for example, I want to reach people who live in Hamburg, who are male, above 35, who like the Bayern de Munich, who checked in here, checked in there, who like Daft Punk, connected over an iPad, with an iPad over Wi-Fi. That's the kind of targeting you can do. Before that, you could say to some of our competitors, I want to reach people in Germany. They could do that. But nobody can do that type of targeting. So you see the advertising, you click on it, install now. It takes you to the App Store, one click, and you get the application on your device. But once you have the application, you can start using it. And some people just install the application, they use it once, they don't come back to it. They forget about the application. And this is why we have launched these new formats with new call to actions. Open the link, use the application. Play now, makes sense for gaming companies. Shop now, e-commerce. Listen now, and Spotify uses that. For example, they know you like Daft Punk, they know you have the Spotify app on your device. When the new Daft Punk album comes, they can say, hey, we know you like Daft Punk, new album out today, go back to Spotify. And watch now for movies and media. Book now for travel. And so we launched these new ads a month and a half ago. That's specifically to drive re-engagement and ultimately monetization. Because being installed, being discovered is not enough. And that's all these actions that we have created have been really asked by our customers. A few numbers on these ads. So 8.4 thousand advertisers are using these apps as of Q2. That's twice the number of advertisers we had in Q1. So a lot of people are trying this. A lot of people are trying Facebook advertising for the first time, and they go directly to mobile. Because the competition cannot do that. Nobody can give you that reach and that kind of targeting. If you're Get Taxi, for example, and you launch in Moscow, you can target just people who are in Moscow. It doesn't make sense to target everybody in Russia. You just want to target people in Moscow, above 18 years old, who might have an iPhone 5, because they would be happy to pay for that kind of services. Once again, more than 50% penetration rate among the top 100 grossing apps on iOS and Android, and that's not a coincidence. If they are here, that's because they've been able to leverage that to the max. And more than 145 million installs driven this year. So that's a lot of traffic that is being sent from the Facebook mobile app, a place where a lot of people spend a lot of time, to the app stores on iOS and on Android. So to conclude, the value proposition is very easy. Build, grow, promote your mobile apps with Facebook. Once again, we have a platform team in Europe. We're very happy to engage with VCs or with startups. We want to be the best platform company out there, the company that entrepreneurs reach out to the very same day they create their companies or they start developing their applications. And of course, mobile is extremely important for us. We believe it's extremely important for you or for your portfolio companies. So don't hesitate and reach out if you have any questions or if you want to talk to anybody at Facebook. Thank you very much. I think we have time for questions.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for the mic.
Can you turn on the mic?
Hello?
Yeah.
Great. It's just a question regarding custom audiences. Is that purely matching my email address that I registered with on Facebook to the email address that the company holds?
Email address, Facebook user ID, if you have Facebook login, and mobile phone.
So me, for example, if I'm in our case for Sky, if my email address that I've used for my Sky sign-up is different to my Facebook.
No match.
Right. Okay. That must be quite common, right? For Facebook, I use my personal email address because I assume that I'm going to get spammed with a lot of information. Is there any plan to overcome that?
It's not easy, but usually between the Facebook user ID with the email and the phone number, we can provide a pretty good match. And what companies in your sector do, for example, is that they want to shift their audience from PC or from TV to mobile. And so they use our list of existing subscribers and they say, hey, guess what? You like Sky on your PC, you can now watch Sky on your mobile. So that's the kind of experience they provide. But on the matching, I believe we're pretty good at this, but it's never a 100% matching rate. Under your control, Martin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for the great presentation. Quick question: when you said about engaging the consumers who downloaded the app, can we target only those who have already downloaded the app when we serve the ad regarding engagement? Because I don't know if that's
It
possible.
depends what you want to drive. If you want to drive installations, of course you will target people who don't have the application. But if you want to drive re-engagement, you will target people who already have the application. And you can, instead of saying install now, you can say book now, buy now.
And you can,
pay now.
yes, so you can directly target those that have downloaded your app.
Okay, I
by
didn't know
that
that
matching.
was possible.
Yes,
Okay, that's
absolutely.
Because it would not work for people who don't have the application.
Yep.
And you can also target people for the first time who have not installed the application and not. No, it doesn't have to be through Facebook.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. On custom audiences, which I think is a really cool feature actually,
It is.
can you target not the people you've got the emails for, but their friends?
You can do that, I mean, not directly their friends, but I guess with lookalike, you can somehow end up to the same result. So people who are might not necessarily friends of the people you're targeting, but people who look like them.
It'd be really cool to be able to target their friends, because then they can ask their friends, do you use this? And they can go, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can do that.
We'd pay for that.
Yeah, sorry, also a question about custom audiences. I
Seem
still
to like it, that's great.
I still didn't get it. For example, if I know my customers are students, or I really need students, and German students aged 20 to 25.
Yeah.
So normally I can use the filter on Facebook and try to target them.
Yeah.
Now I have also a database of, let's say, 30,000 students. I will load them up to Facebook. What's the plus advantage which I get through it? Does Facebook have any magical connection, knowing that someone who hasn't said I'm a student in his Facebook profile, that he might be a student, something like that, that I increase the audience through this?
For this specific example, there's no real magic. What we could say, for example, is depends on what kind of students you want to target in terms of if it's only students or what kind of interests they have. Then custom audience would provide you an additional value by creating lookalike target audiences which might have similar interest or so. For that example, if you only care whether they study or not, you could also use other matching algorithms.
Yeah. And as Martin said, it's very useful for clusters of customers. Let's say you're BMW. You have that list of your top 1,000 customers who bought a BMW 3 years ago. You match that with Facebook and you can place an ad for them that says, hey, you liked or you bought a BMW 3 years ago. That's something you only know. Well, guess what? 5% off for you. That's the kind of campaigns you can create.
You mentioned that startups should reach out for Facebook to contact you. My question is, how should we do that? Because actually we tried that. We tried to call, we tried to write emails, we never got an answer. And this is actually quite frustrating. We had an advert running and there were some problems and nobody was there to help us. We even wrote a letter in paper and on this we didn't also get an answer.
And you're based in Germany?
Yes, Munich.
And you reached out to the advertising team or the platform
Yes.
team? Okay.
So I have to say,
Advert.
to take that on, you're absolutely right. We had a very, very bad service, and it's not to, even for me, acceptable standard yet. We're working on it. So I can only apologize. It's, Facebook might seem like this huge, big company, but we're not Google yet. Let's put it this way. So it's we're really working on it, and we're in the process actually of staffing up. So hopefully, over the next few months, you will see some changes. I would welcome you. Please come to me after this, and I'm very happy to help you. Please. Any other questions?
Good. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
No, there's one.
There's one.
The last one.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in target advertising to users that have a specific interest, for example, art or emerging artist type of art. I know their age range, I know their cities, but could I do this?
Yes. So what we do offer is we offer interest-based targeting. Of course, it's as you know, we have a wide variety of data on the platform, right? But not every art lover in that respect might be as expressive on the platform. So this again, you can use those interest-based targeting and see whether these are the right customers that you acquire. If it only gets you that far, then again, I would come back to creating a custom cluster for those that you know actually match your criteria and are your permanent customers that you would like to target, and then create lookalike audiences and try those as well. So in the end, can only recommend it's trial and error. So test. You can do the interest-based, but I would not only rely on it, but also try the other things as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.